Hey guys, I'm Pinkabella and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be answering some big questions about my disabilities, about my life, and what they are. Now before we start, let me be clear. I'm not a doctor, nurse, or medical professional. The info I share with you is for vibes, education, and inspiration only, and it's not medical advice. Please be sure you double check with a qualified healthcare provider before you make decisions about your body, your health, or your wellness. Stay safe, stay smart, and remember, Google and YouTube are not your doctor. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started. So, I'm disabled. I look able-bodied, but I'm not. I have two conditions or chronic illnesses, and they are IBS and GERD. This means that I have a lot of dietary restrictions and some everyday challenges. You may be asking, what is IBS? That's some random letter. Has to do with pooping. IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome. Essentially, a normal person's stomach and intestines let food pass through it normally and can absorb nutrients. But in my case, and in other people like me's case, some foods pass through too fast and others pass through too slow. This can cause some really nasty challenges like diarrhea and constipation. It's kind of a gross thing to live with, and since I've been diagnosed with it, I've eradicated any toilet anxiety that I've had. And I'm okay with that. You know how Elvis croaked on the toilet? Statistically, I'm pretty likely to as well. Alongside constipation and diarrhea, some other common symptoms include stomach cramps, gas, bloating, and stomach spasms. And there's also different classifications for IBS too. Some people's guts do things too quickly, which is IBS-D, stands for IBS diarrhea. Others are too slow, which is IBS-C, IBS constipation, and less common is both, IBS-M. I have that one, and it's a little bit harder to treat because there's solutions for diarrhea and there's solutions for constipation, but to treat both at the same time is kind of contradictory. In my case, I take laxatives like Miralax to deal with this, and it can be really easy to feel gross when you think about your symptoms. Like, I have a hard time with gas, so I fart a lot, and that can be embarrassing, but I try to have a good sense of humor about it. Because of this, I have to avoid certain foods. Things that are called trigger foods can make things worse for us. I'm on a low FODMAP diet, and I have a notebook where I take notes on how foods make me feel and how I react before I add something new to my diet. So now that you know what IBS is, let's talk GERD. GERD stands for gastroesophageal reflux disease. It's also known as acid reflux. This is basically caused when the fluids in your stomach come out of the top piece into the esophagus. And this causes heartburn, and it can cause you to burp. I gag a lot. Typically old people have this, or people with an addiction to smoking, alcohol, or obesity. Other people like me, I just got unlucky in the gym. You may be asking, what does low FODMAP mean? Just throwing the whole alphabet at you today. Low FODMAP stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, and monosaccharides, as well as polyols. These are certain categories of foods that contain these longer sugars that take more molecules than one, and they take longer to digest than others because they can exhaust your gut. Some people are less sensitive to certain categories than others, like I believe it's disaccharides that contains dairy, but it's really just a toss-up. Unfortunately, these disorders don't have a one-size-fits-all solution. Every person has a different trigger or different struggles. I made this channel so I could talk about it. When I look up my illnesses, I met with dietitians and doctors, and it's really sterile, but there's no one like me. No one who wants to talk about it, even the gross parts. It's okay to be like me, and it's okay to be like you, and we're not alone in this world. It's like that kid's book, everybody. My channel is for the girls like me. When a man farts in the middle of class, no one bats an eye, but someone like me, people think it's barbaric when I burp. So obviously be polite, but the double standard here is insane. I hope this video was helpful or informative. Please like and subscribe if you want more content, and turn on the bell if you want to be notified when I post. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, there's a link in the description. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye everybody!